Hello, everybody. Jake, your resident content cowboy here. Yeehaw, Merry Christmas, all the things. I saw that we had patch notes for the game, and I thought, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to get into this right now. It is Christmas. I'm watching Mayor of Easttown. Don't spoil it for me if you've already seen it. And then I saw a couple patch notes that I wanted to talk about. So we've got translated patch notes here from DM Sports World. Shout out to them. I'm going to go through the Japanese notes really quick, and in case there's anything that I miss, I'm going to head on over to that. Let's get into it. We have the next steps part 2, right? Yeah. Next steps part 2. Next step. Sorry. Apologies. Part 2 patch notes here. We have Eldegoss. This is a change that we've wanted for a while. It's really weird that a supporter wouldn't have all of its plus moves at 10 and 12. Basically, if you don't know what I mean by that, level 10 and 12 are the levels that reasonably a support character should be getting plus moves, because as a support, you want to be running EXP share. If you're running EXP share, it is harder to hit level 13, meaning less and less often you would be getting your, Cotton Guard Plus or something like that. So I think this is great. According to them, it was difficult for them to gain experience points from wild Pokemon, making it difficult for them to reach level 13 and upgrade their moves. By lowering the level at which they can upgrade their moves, they will now be able to learn them by the end of battle, even if they focus on supporting their allies, which is, I think, a no-brainer for all support classes. Honestly, it wouldn't even be that crazy to me if we had a reality where support Pokemon just had kind of EXP share built in. I like that we don't, because there are some builds that you wouldn't want to run that on, if you're going full damage Mime, or if you're running, Draining Kiss Clefable or something like that. But I think this is a very reasonable change that is long overdue, so I'm happy to see it. So Eldegoss getting, I don't know if you'd consider it a huge buff, but both your plus moves at a level earlier and guaranteeing basically that you have them at Ray is pretty big. We have Sawblaze, a.k.a. Cerulege here. I don't know the names of all these moves. Sword of the Heart, Ghost Dive. I mean, I can take some guesses here, but why don't we take a look at the translated patch notes right here. Bitter Blade, 10% damage increase. Kind of makes sense. It's fallen off as a move as of late. Phantom Force, 5% damage increase. Psycho Cut, a cooldown from 7 seconds to 6.5. And the notes were saying, following previous nerfs, Cerulege's damage output became unexpectedly low for a balanced Pokemon. I think that means all-rounder. These adjustments enhance its damage output. I think it was fine. It was even getting competitive play, but it definitely did fall off a bit. I would love to see them mess with Armarouge, because I think that fell off kind of like a cliff. But here we go. Buzzwole, Superpower, Base Shield going from 12% of max HP to 20%. This is a massive change. 20% HP shield on a move is crazy big. Cooldown from 8.5 to 8. Smackdown going from 6.5 to 6. These buffs aim to enhance Buzzwole's ability to counter melee-focused Pokemon that currently dominate Unite battles. It's true. There are a lot of great ones. I think this is a fair change, but man, a 12% shield is already pretty massive. 20% is huge. That is huge. Scissor. Bullet Punch, 5% damage increase, fair. Cooldown reduction. I mean, this thing's going to be up all the time now, 5 seconds to 4.5. Scissor strength lies in building damage and defense during prolonged battles. Reducing the cooldown for Bullet Punch allows it to reach its peak performance faster. Really reasonable change here. If anyone knows anything about Scizor or my content around it, you know that this Pokemon has been underpowered for a long time, and it really doesn't perform that well in the meta. I think these are very fair changes, and I'm surprised that we didn't see them last patch, because we kind of saw Scizor as a Pokemon that they were highlighting a bit. Instead, they just buffed Scyther. So I actually like seeing something like this. I think it's very good. What other buffs do we have? Oh yeah, this was the big thing that I saw, and I thought, you know what, I'm turning the mic on because I want to talk about this. Blastoise, Surf cooldown, they get a second off of it. Surf plus shield amount, 35% increase. This shield is already huge. Now, to be fair, this is a level 13 move, right, on Blastoise. But this shield was already really nice, and now this is a massive increase. So they had the Rapid Spin Plus increase, and now Surf has this giant shield. Hydro Pump, 1 second cooldown. Rapid Spin, 1 second cooldown. Rapid Spin Plus, 12% defense increase and special defense increase. It's already like, it already ups you to like 450. It's like some crazy number already. So this is going to be nuts. And then its Unite move has an 11% reduction. According to the notes, Blastoise has struggled with low win and pick rates. These buffs will improve its crowd control and durability in late game battles. All true. And honestly, I think Blastoise is probably back. Reading this, Blastoise fell off a little bit competitively. There were still some teams that picked it up. But I saw a post, and I think this is about right. This puts Blastoise Unite move like cooldown right around 90 seconds, which is, it's one of the better Unite moves in the entire game. You can massively affect team fights with it. Not only that, both of your plus moves are looking insanely good, and a lot of your disruption abilities are looking great. This seems to be a great patch for Blastoise. Darkrai, hopefully getting nerfed into the ground. Boosted attack, including damage from Nasty Plot, has a 20% decrease. Fair. Dark Void cooldown from 3.5 to 4. Fair. Shadow Claw damage increase. Okay, you know what? This is actually great because Shadow Claw's terrible and the rest of Darkrai is broken. So the combination of Dark Void, Nasty Plot, and Boosteds caused excessively high damage, and adjustments reduced this damage while buffing the underutilized Shadow Claw. It's so weird. I haven't read all the patch notes, by the way, so I'm about to eat my words, if I'm wrong here. But it's so weird how last patch we had so many head scratchers that made absolutely no sense. Like they were almost patch notes created by a maniac who had never seen the game before, played like 5 ranked matches and was like, we got to do something about my champ. These are all very reasonable. This is exactly what's going on with Darkrai. It honestly could receive more nerfs, but this is a 100% true statement about Darkrai. Psyduck, this needs to be big time nerfs here. Swift Swim ability. So this is kind of its big thing here. Headache gauge increase rate has a 25% reduction. Very fair. Move speed boost, 70% to 40. This isn't the biggest thing, but okay. And effect upon full gauge. Guarded state to immunity to crowd control. Oh, wow. Wow, are we saying it's no longer invulnerable when it goes into its headache mode? Because that's actually massive. Disable, 15% damage decrease. Spread count, 5 to 4 and 8 to 6 in headache. Spread count, 2 targets per target to 2 times to now 1 time. Wow. These are actually great changes for Psyduck. You might be gutting this thing, but it's kind of been broken for a while. Psychic getting a possible buff, it looks like. Yeah. Max range, 8 meters to 9. Pull duration, almost up to a full second. Self-move speed reduction, 40 to 10. Psyduck's headache gauge increased too quickly. Yes. Its defensive state at full gauge provided excessive self-protection. Agreed. These changes reduce its dominance while improving Psychic's usability. These are great. These are great changes. Almost everything I've seen so far is like fully reasonable, great change. Mimikyu, Shadow Sneak, increased cooldown from 8 to 9 seconds. Shadow Claw damage reduction by 5% due to the high usage rate in ranked and tournaments, along with continued high ban rate. These moves have been adjusted downward to encourage a shift in the meta. Man, how? And these are all the notes, right? How are these notes so much better than the last notes? I don't even get it. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I thought that was it. There's more. But wait, there's more. Hold on. My thing is freaking out a little bit. Okay. We have something for Zacian. Metal Claw. Shockwave damage reduction 50% and charge damage 6% reduction. The usage rate and ban rate in ranked and tournaments remained high, so we adjusted down the main use of Metal Claw to encourage changes in the environment. In particular, we have significantly reduced the damage of Shockwave so that its true value can be seen to block opponents' moves, which is incredibly hard to do, but fair enough. So that's a huge reduction right there in damage. And then we have Where is it? Inteleon. Normal attack, powered attack damage increased by 12%, aiming 10%, and aqua break 12. There was a bug. Oh, wow. So they fixed the bug, and now they're buffing Inteleon in a way to say, like, hey, like, we had this bug for a while, and Inteleon was actually doing decently with this bug. So we're going to adjust it in a way where this bug is kind of now the active state of this Pokemon. Honestly, fair. Fair. It's not like it was, like, broken or anything. So I think this is actually a pretty fair change. Bug fixes Hoopa's Hole of Eternity. It's such a funny way that the translate worked there. Hoopa's Hole of Eternity allowed him to warp even if he was interrupted, and an issue where Inteleon's vital gauge increased when he was arrived after being KO'd, which is why we see these change. I mean, I gotta say, I would like more patch changes. I would like, bigger sweeping notes across the board where we have more changes for Pokemon, but I don't think there's a single patch note here that I don't fully agree with. I'm trying to think, maybe this is a little much on Ceruledge. We'll have to see. This is pretty strong on Buzz, but it has had a really weak win rate. I gotta say, I think just about everything in these patch notes is spot on. Where was the person who wrote these patch notes last time? I don't know. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, everybody. I'll be back on real soon to test all of this. I love you guys. Hope you had a Merry Christmas if you celebrate. Goodbye. Back to Mayor of Easttown. Don't spoil it.